everybody. Welcome to day 22 of 30 days and 30 ways to clear your energy. Today, I'm going to be talking about brainwave states. And again, out of all of the different things, there's so many very cool things that we've spoken about in the last 3 and a bit weeks, or a bit longer, because I've had terrible internet trouble. There are billions of different ways in which you can clear energy. Pick which works for you and use it regularly. If something doesn't work for you, just stop using it. It's not worth it. But if you find something and it's a really good tool for you, make sure that you try and use it on a regular basis. The whole point of this is to stay as clear as possible, as often as possible. So anything that you can do on a daily basis to make sure that you are not clouded by uncertainty, negativity, fear, frustration, anything that's going to stop you from being in flow, find a way that you can clear yourself. Your vibration is your sovereign responsibility. And if we only do one thing in this world, which is have responsibility for ourselves, and if we do it well, imagine how amazing the world would be if everybody in the planet chose to be completely in charge of their sovereign state of being and took that responsibility really seriously and made themselves stay in a state of bliss and love. Then I probably wouldn't even need to do this. We would have no wars. There would be no drama. We would have no fear. We'd already be in a state of 5D absolute bliss and love. So if these videos help us even get a tiny bit of the way there, then I've done my job and I'm happy. So today we're going to talk about brainwave states. If you are loving what you're hearing, and if you want to get all of this together in one big place, I'm going to be putting together or have already am still doing, putting together all of this in one big course just for you. If you're interested, I will have information towards the end of my series here. So brainwave states is, I think, probably one of the more powerful breakthroughs I've had in the last number of years. Jose Silva, if you have not heard of him, look him up, read his work, listen to his work, do his work. It is amazing work. Jose Silva, he's probably got to be the king of brainwave states. He has single-handedly changed the way that we view how our brain works just by working on people and doing hypnosis and various techniques around hypnosis. So he started doing his work decades ago, and he has had influence all over the globe in helping people to reach higher levels of psychic awareness in deep intuitive states, allowing them to really step into their genius, step into healing. It's basically giving people a quantum leap, literally, into the quantum field. He is allowing people and giving people techniques to get you from that really escalated brainwave state into a deep restorative brainwave state where you can have access to the quantum field and go in and do amazing work. So if you ever want to be in a state where you can learn how to jump into that quantum field, start manifesting, start creating, start doing amazing things, it's Jose Silva's work. He's one of the many people. There's many, many people. Joe Dispenza does it. There's so many amazing people that do this work, but he's the pioneer. He's part of the OG, isn't it? The original gang. So it's definitely worth checking his work out if that resonates with you. But one of the most amazing things that I got out of that is this concept of brainwave states and how we can hack our way there. So typically we're walking around on a daily basis and we're sitting in a state of escalation. So we've talked about this in quite a number of the days that I've been doing this. But that escalation has got us in a sympathetic state. We're in an inflammatory state. We're more likely to be diseased, unwell, stressed, unhappy, all of those things, okay? Now, if you want to categorize it all, we've got positive ionization, we've got sympathetic nervous system, we've got acidic body, we've got beta brainwave state, and we've got sitting in our 3D being. So this is all over here. We don't want to live here. This is not a happy place to be. You want to come over to the other side. You've got a 5D state of being. You've got parasympathetic nervous system. You've got your brain sitting alpha or below. So we've got alpha, theta, delta. We want our brain to be in those states most of the time. We want our body to be alkaline and we want to be negatively ionized. So we want to be over here. This is where we want to live. And clearing our energy on a daily basis, whatever way you choose, is basically a hack to get us from this place to this place. And this is what we want to do. If everybody took responsibility just over this process, like I said, world would be amazing. So the brainwave states are a similar thing. We're all talking on a similar theme. We're just unpacking it in a bunch of different ways. But essentially, we're mostly walking around in our beta or other states, which is more escalated. It's the doing, it's the getting, it's the basically the sympathetic state in terms of the brain waves. So do, going out there, getting stuff done, ticking stuff off the lists, just moving through your life on a regular basis. Usually if you're in a beta state, you're also relatively, I'm going to say, unconscious. So you're going to be more in that pre-programmed way of being. You're not necessarily going to be consciously thinking about what you're saying, doing, and being. You're just going through life. You're going through the motion. If you start to learn how to be in a different brainwave state, you start to learn how to connect into your intuition. You start to learn how to really honor your wisdom and your inner knowing. You start to being able to enter the quantum field. And even just learning how to do that, by the way, is a game changer. If you can learn how to just slow everything down so that you can enter that quantum field, which is basically that state of just being. It's that state of, I am that I am. I'm just in this state in the world, and this is me, right? You hit singularity of thought, as in you don't have a billion thoughts in your head. You might just have one. It's that embodiment of smelling the roses and just being in a state of that being. Just like this. And this requires a brainwave state that gets you out of escalation and into a place of ease and balance. You're sitting in your 5D higher self state. You're sitting in the quantum field. And once you get into that quantum field, that's when you can engage your genius. When you learn how to get into the quantum state, I've done entire workshops on this, by the way, and it's so fun. And once you can learn to get into that quantum state, this is when you can start to create a reality that you want to call in. So when people do manifesting, if you want to become an amazing manifester, you don't do it while you're running around getting the groceries. You do it when you've slowed everything down enough that you enter that quantum field and everything becomes a possibility for you. This is where we co-create with the universe in the most powerful way possible. If you're wanting to earn $1 million in a year and you're driving your car and you're really frantic, you go, oh my goodness, universe, why can't you just give me $1 million and keep driving? Yes, it'll hear you, but it's kind of like talking on a walkie-talkie and there's a lot of static in the way. If you learn how to slow your breath down and get into a beautiful state of quantum field awareness where you are one with the universe, which is a beautiful way of being, all of a sudden, instead of having that walkie-talkie static in the way, you are having a direct, clear video chat with the universe saying, oi, this is what I want. Let's call it in. And this is what I want it to look like. This is what I want it to feel like. This is what I want it to embrace for me. And once you get into that quantum field and you know how to do that on a regular basis and you can embody that through your body, then you're smoking with gas. Then you're really creating it from your vibration. And that is a very powerful place to be. So in order to get into that quantum field, we have to embrace the brainwave state. Now, I can't play these for you as it is because it's not my place and it's all copyrighted, but have a look, jump onto YouTube or Spotify or other places where you get the actual beats. Now, I'm not talking about alpha wave music. That doesn't work, in my opinion. Try it if you want, but it doesn't work for me. Look up the Jose Silva method of the beats, right? And it just sounds, Okay, it sounds like lots of knocking. It can irritate the crap out of people, I have to say. But if you close your eyes and you just allow it to come through your body, it's a transformative experience. There's alpha, there's theta, and there's delta. If you are naturally more escalated, try for the alpha first, because that is the highest level in that quantum field state, and allowing your whole brain to slow down into that alpha state. If that's all you manage, amazing. Like, play it in the background when you're doing stuff. It really brings you into that quantum field, and it almost just kind of blisses you out. It's really beautiful. So it's that knocking, okay? You want to hear the knocking. The theta is the level below that, so it's slower. And what it does is it just kind of allows you to get into an even deeper level of the quantum state. So if you're not as escalated, give yourself the opportunity to go into the theta state with that. And then the delta is for really deep level healing, but also for sleep. So if you struggle with insomnia, if you really find it difficult to kind of de-escalate enough that you can get into a deep sleep every night, I do recommend listening to the delta. So again, if you're on YouTube and the quality can't be as high, use the knocking ones. It sounds terrible, but they just sound like knocking. It's not music. Look up silver alpha waves or silver theta waves or silver delta waves. Pick one that really resonates for you and play it. And the delta one is just amazing at allowing really deep sleep to come through. If you wake up with insomnia and you're struggling, I would listen to one of those, ideally the delta, and just allow everything to kind of come back down. If you are a healer, it's a really fantastic way to get into that state before you're doing a healing process. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're in business, if you're trying to manifest, if you're trying to call in anything in your life and you're finding it really hard to get into that quantum field, I cannot recommend this method highly enough. Listen to all of the brainwaves, allow yourself to get into that quantum field state, and at worst, stay there and just allow your body to feel at bliss. All right. And the best possible way that you could use that is once you're in that state of bliss, start imagining your future, start visualizing what it is that you're trying to call in, start feeling through your body what it feels like to already have that happening in your life. Allow it to vibrate through every cell, tissue, and organ of your body. Allow it to become the most powerful experience you have ever had in your life. Allow it to completely code your auric field, your chakras, and every element of your body. Make it your reality. And then whenever you're ready, come out of it. I can feel it like tingling through my body just through saying that. It's really powerful. Okay, so the process is pick the brain waves that work for you and listen to it. Get yourself into the state, stay in that state, visualize what you want, and then come back out. If you do that every day, watch your life change. I will be amazed if it doesn't. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Listen to it, get your brainwave states into a much more balanced place, and I will see you tomorrow.